welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and we are back with another live show, keeping you up to date of all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, and talking points that happened over the weekend. I was not live during the weekend. I was really busy. It was the international break. There wasn't loads and loads to talk about, but I'm rounding up the weekend's news. I'm rounding up today's news. We've got some talking points in today's videos I wanted to discuss. We'll talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future and why, if you want my honest opinion, it looks doomed. Possible replacements coming in for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I cannot see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being Manchester United manager at Christmas time. I'll tell you why I don't believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be Manchester United manager at Christmas time unless a miracle happens. Literally, we're in a bit of an injury crisis right now. Maguire and Varane both injured, with the fixture of Leicester, Atalanta, Liverpool, Tottenham, Manchester City all to come, and Chelsea with no Varane and Maguire at the back. We saw how bad we were at end of last season without Maguire at the back. Whether you like Maguire or not, he has an impact on this team. So worrying times ahead. The Maguire and Varane injuries are being assessed, but they're not in contact training, which means they're not going to be back for Leicester and probably Atalanta. Hopefully the Liverpool game on Sunday the 24th, because we've got to beat them Scousers, guys. We've got to beat them Scousers. But lots and lots to talk about. There's a few interesting live chats I do want to read out as well before I get into the stream, because I always ask a question for my live chat. So my question today for everybody watching in the live chat, and if you're not watching live, my question down below for you guys is, if you had to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with any manager in the world with some realism, don't say Pep, don't say Klopp, if you had a realistic replacement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, let me know why in the chat, let me know why in the comments, because I'm always really intrigued. I always like to ask you guys a question. But first of all, not long till the international break is over. 5 more days left of this sodding international break, guys. I cannot bloody wait. We've got a stream Wednesday, and then Friday's the preview to Manchester United versus Leicester, live on the channel, live around 7 p.m. Friday night. We'll be looking about that game, who's going to be there, who's not going to be there. But my main talking points is, will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer survive the awful fixture list with the key injuries? You know, why I think Ole's going to be sacked. Some things I've heard that make me think that Ole ain't going to make it till Christmas unless a miracle happens. Obviously, the injury situation, obviously a bit of a rant. Sancho looked really good for England the other day. I didn't watch the England game, by the way, so I'm not going to say Sancho was amazing. I didn't fucking watch the England game. I didn't watch any of the games. I watched the last 5 minutes of the Scotland game and saw McTominay winner. Cracking. But I didn't watch the England game, but Sancho got 2 assists, so I'm just going to assume he's good, based off what everyone on Man United Football Twitter's saying. So, you know. But yeah, after that was a talking point. One of the things we're going to be talking about is Pogba and Tchoumeni, guys, the French duo. Will Pogba convince Tchoumeni to come to Manchester United? Pogba loves Tchoumeni. He plays with him for France. They play well together. The 21-year-old CDM and Paul Pogba is a vibe. Like, they are good. They are good. Nations League finalists say good. Trust me, if Pogba stays at Man United, he's going to want Tchoumeni. And there's rumours about Man United for Tchoumeni. There's rumours about Pogba telling Man United to get Tchoumeni. So if Pogba's telling Man United to sign Tchoumeni, and if these rumours are true, that Pogba's telling Man United to sign Tchoumeni, surely Pogba's going to sign a new contract at Manchester United. We'll be talking about that. Martial to Newcastle, guys. What are your thoughts on Anthony Martial? Possible move to Newcastle. We'll talk about the Newcastle takeover. Apparently 4 Manchester United players could be Newcastle bound. Absolutely crazy. As well as the crisis that Manchester United are in. Why I think United are in a bit of crisis right now. Man United linked to Dembele again on the free this summer. Don't know how. And then I'm going to be telling you how I think we can line up versus Newcastle. So Fred, Cavani, Varane, and Maguire will not be available for the Leicester game. Lost already. Fred, Cavani, Maguire, and Varane not available for the Newcastle game. Just to, so I'll be talking about how I think we can line up. But I want to get through a couple of live chats and then we get into talking about today's video. But make sure you smash a like on the video if you have not already. And if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, previews, watch-alongs, match reactions, we're on the road to 20K. We're like 880 subscribers off 20K. So every subscriber means the absolute freaking world to me. This guy wants Luis Enrique or Mancini. They're brilliant coaches that we're overlooking. They've done very well at international level. So, yeah. I mean, Luis Enrique, though, when he dropped De Gea, he doesn't like De Gea. You don't want managers with certain agendas in. We've seen the Luke Shaw Mourinho agenda. We've seen the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer Donny van de Beek agenda. That's the thing. You don't want to get a manager that has player agendas in. But I think every manager does. So, yeah. McTominay was good for Scotland. I heard he scored the winning goal. I didn't watch the match, I'm not going to lie to you. My boy Sancho is a baller and Borussia Dortmund legend. Sancho is a baller. I'm actually going to talk about Sancho quickly here. Man United need to keep playing Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho always starts season slow, but he always becomes good. Now, Jadon Sancho's last game for Manchester United, when he came on as a sub versus Everton, he looked really, really good. And what I noticed when Jadon Sancho came on versus Everton was the confidence that grew in Jadon Sancho. He looked a lot more confident. He was taking on men, taking on his player versus Everton. Every time Sancho was on the ball versus Everton last week, they had to get 3 or 4 men around him. They literally did. And this is what United need to do. You know, Sancho's just come off 2 assists in the international break. Just because Rashford's back and you've got Greenwood, do not drop Jadon Sancho because he will find form. Jadon Sancho, the first 2 months of the season at Borussia Dortmund, only got like 1 assist and 1 goal. And then for like the last 6 months of the season, he had like a goal and assist a game. Like Jadon Sancho, for the last 2 seasons, has started quite slow, and then he gains confidence as the season goes on. And I have to say, this Manchester United must make sure they start Jadon Sancho. For me, he has to start versus Leicester on Saturday because Cavani ain't going to be available. Rashford I keep on the bench. So for me, it's Sancho on the right, Greenwood on the left, Ronaldo up top. So Greenwood on the right, Sancho on the left. Because Jadon Sancho is a player that gets better as the season goes on. And if we drop him now for Rashford and if we give Sancho the Donny van de Beek treatment, and what I'm really worried Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will do, and I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will do this, because unlike Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho was a player Ole wanted for 2 years, begged for him. He's a very high price signing. I'm really worried that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be like, okay, so Sancho's first 2 months at Manchester United weren't brilliant. His first few games, Rashford's back. I'm not going to give Sancho a chance because if he only gives Sancho a start every 4 or 5 games, then we're not going to see the best of Jadon Sancho. What Jadon Sancho needs is a run against the Manchester United where he picks up confidence. And you know, had a very, very good game for England. Looked very, very good in his last game for Manchester United. Definitely growing every game. I think it's only a matter of time till we see the best of Jadon Sancho. So hopefully, you know, Ole will play Jadon Sancho versus Leicester. I will talk about the Leicester game as obviously the stream goes on and all of that. But my question for you is, who is your ideal manager to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? We're going to be talking about why Ole is potentially in the mud as well. And Steve says just 5 days to go when the international break is over. The only thing I like about the international break is when my country's playing, and that's the only thing I get excited about it. Exactly. And when England were playing Andorra, I didn't watch the match. I just don't. I like World Cup. I like Euros. I hate the international break. Guys, if you hate the sodding international break, if the international break bores you, smash a like on this video because the international break's absolutely shocking. The Man United fan base says Tchoumeni and Ten Hag is a dream. And Niall Kane's delighted with the McTominay winner. Andrew says that Tchoumeni is a beast, looks like a beast. We should move quickly before his value soars and so many other clubs start having a look. Exactly. Chelsea made an offer for Tchoumeni in the summer, but they didn't get a deal over the line. Chelsea want Tchoumeni. Manchester United should want Tchoumeni. Now, I know we're linked to Tchoumeni. I know that Pogba wants Tchoumeni at Manchester United. I know there's a lot of rumours. Man United should be going for Tchoumeni. Him and Pogba bossing the midfield yesterday. A player that works with Pogba, a player that's young, 21 years of age, in the French league, so won't be overpriced English like Declan Rice. CDM. What do we need? A CDM. What do we need? A player that can play with Pogba if he stays. Tchoumeni would be perfect. And if Man United signed Tchoumeni, now I don't think we're going to sign Tchoumeni in January. I think if we're going to sign him, he's definitely one of those players we'd sign in the summer. Kessie in January, more realistic. But if Manchester United signed Tchoumeni in January, the likes of Paul Pogba staying are incredibly high because Paul Pogba likes Tchoumeni. He likes playing with Tchoumeni. And there's news articles and stories coming out saying that Paul Pogba wants Tchoumeni at Manchester United. He's spoken to Manchester United, said, I want to get this guy. He's good. So if these stories are true that Paul Pogba loves Tchoumeni, we know Paul Pogba likes Tchoumeni because he's always talking about how much of a baller he is on his Instagram. But if the rumours are true that Paul Pogba's told Manchester United that he wants Tchoumeni and he likes Tchoumeni, then that's an indication of surely Paul Pogba wanted to stay. I know we made those Juventus comments. That's surely an indication of Paul Pogba wanting to stay. My thoughts on the Paul Pogba, will he stay, will he go situation at Manchester United is very, very simple. If Manchester United get bad results and we're not looking good and we don't have a good season and we don't win a trophy and Paul Pogba's being shipped to the left or benched from MCFRED, Paul Pogba won't stay. If Ole continues to bench Paul Pogba from MCFRED, which I don't think Ole will do, because I think now Rashford's back on the left-hand side, now we brought Sancho for the right-hand side, it would be a complete waste playing Paul Pogba on the wing. I know Paul Pogba can play on the wing. I know Paul Pogba can do a good job on the wing. But what I'm saying is it would absolutely be the biggest waste ever if we did play Paul Pogba on the wing when you have Rashford and Sancho as your 2 wingers, the Martial and Greenwood as your backup wingers. We've already got abundance of wingers. So I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to start playing McFred over Pogba. But I think if he did, then Pogba's less likely to stay. But if the Tchoumeni news is true, you know, that's the situation that we all love. But I want to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his future at Manchester United because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future at Manchester United is not looking bright. Now you're saying you're crazy. Like they've just given Mike Phelan a new contract. Surely the board back at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, what are you on about? Why is Ole bound to be sacked next month? Well, he's not bound to be sacked next month. Look, if Ole won all his matches in the next month, he won't get sacked. But that's a miracle. Do you think considering Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, whenever he's won a match this season, when we beat West Ham, were we better than them? No. When we beat Wolves, were we better than them? No. We weren't. When we beat Villarreal, were we better than them? No. We should have lost that match. Our wins this season as a Manchester United fan, other than Newcastle and Leeds, have not been convincing. Man United have not had a convincing win this season. We've dropped points to Everton, we've dropped points to Villa, we've dropped points to Southampton, we lost to Young Boys. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is on the line. Now, there's news articles coming up saying he's safe. The Glazers have shown that they're backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer by offering Phelan, McKenna and all that new contract. No, guys. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is not safe at Manchester United because Man United care. The owners care about top four. They care about the revenue. But the fact that these journalists are having to come out and say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe and actually question whether his job is safe or not actually means there's pressure on Ole. The fact they actually have to release information and say, is his job safe? Is his job not safe? It basically is confirming there is pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And look, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be sacked next month. And I'll tell you why I believe he's going to be sacked by the end of next month. We've got a disgusting fixture list ahead. Manchester United have got a really, really tough fixture list ahead. And what I will do, actually, is I'm going to share with you our fixture list. I've shared this a million times, but Manchester United have an absolutely disgusting fixture list ahead. As you can see, we've got Leicester, Atalanta twice, Liverpool, Tottenham City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villarreal. Manchester United have a disgusting fixture list ahead. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got a lot of pressure on him. As Fabrizio Romano said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is currently safe right now, but if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not start getting results for Manchester United, he will lose his job. This is Ole's make or break month. The next 4 weeks are Ole's make or break 4 weeks. And if he does not get results in these next 4 weeks, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will lose his job at Manchester United if he does not get results in these next 4 weeks. Because the pressure is too high. When you have players like Ronaldo and Sancho, you have to get results. Can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer withstand that pressure? I don't believe he will. I think with Varane and Maguire, our two first-choice centre-backs, out definitely for the Leicester game and most likely the Atalanta game and probably even the Liverpool game, that makes Ole's situation a lot harder, okay? With Paul Pogba's future unsure, with Ole's MCFRED obsession, with the fact that we're not getting good results at the moment, and we've got a half fixture list, and the confidence isn't good. We haven't got some momentum going. And even when we won, they've not been convincing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United is not safe. They've had to confirm that his job is safe, meaning it's not safe. There's actually pressure on. Romano says if he does not get results, like the situation of his job will change. He will lose his job. Do you guys believe? And I believe that Ole's going to get sacked. If Ole gets the results versus Leicester, Atalanta, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, and Manchester City without Varane, without Maguire, without his favourite Fred for one of those games, which is probably an advantage, without Cavani for some of those games, do you think he's going to get results versus those teams? Do you believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be Manchester United manager by Christmas? Because I don't believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager by Christmas. I will talk about, Fred, Cavani, Maguire and Varane already out for the Leicester game. 4 players out. Rashford's not fit enough to start. Knowing our luck, someone else will get bloody injured in the international break. Luke Shaw's not 100% fit. Martial, picked up an injury, but I think he's okay now. Man United are in an injury crisis. Man United have got the hardest run of games that we've had in a while coming up. And the only way Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keeps his job is if he wins these games convincingly with the injury crisis. And I just don't believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to go into Leicester, Atalanta, Liverpool, Tottenham, Manchester City, Chelsea, and win these games convincingly and keep his job. I am really scared. And I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to win all these games and keep his job. Even though I'm Ole out, all I want is Manchester United to win. And I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to go into this difficult fixture list and win all these games. I really, really don't want him to go into this difficult fixture list and win all these games. And if him winning all these games means he keeps his job, well, it would mean he keeps his job. Fair be it, even as an Ole outer. But if Ole continues to play McFred, which we know he will, even though he can't play Fred versus Leicester, Ole will continue to play McFred, which we know he will. Without Varane and Maguire, our 2 best centre-backs, and without the likes of Cavani, Manchester United will struggle. And, we couldn't beat Villarreal. We struggled versus Villarreal. We didn't deserve to beat them. We couldn't break down a Villa. We couldn't break down Everton. What makes you think that Manchester United are going to get good results versus Leicester, Liverpool, Atalanta, Tottenham, Manchester City? Not much. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is far from safe, despite the new contract to Phelan, and I just think he's bound to be sacked. I'm going to put prediction here, guys. You can clip this. I'm going to prediction here. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get sacked this week. The week of the 23rd to the 28th. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get sacked, I think, the last week of November. You know, I'm actually going to Old Trafford on the 4th of December in Palace. I'm watching Man United versus Palace at the 4th of December at Old Trafford. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager for when I go to Old Trafford unless a miracle happens. Because I don't believe that this manager is going to get results. Nothing he's done this season has convinced me that he is going to get results. And I put a prediction that between the 23rd of November and the 30th of November, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be sacked. I'm going to predict that now. Now, I could be wrong. We could be top of the league come December 4th when we play Crystal Palace. And if we're top of the league, then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still going to be manager. I could be completely wrong. But with the injuries, with the way we're playing right now, with the MCFRED obsession, I would put money on that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would not be Manchester United manager after Christmas. I can't see it. If we look like we're not going to get top 4, if the fans start to turn on Ole, especially with the Super League, you've got to remember, a lot of people say the Glazers won't sack Ole even if he scrapes 4th and doesn't win a trophy because the Glazers love Ole. He's their puppet. The Glazers will sack Ole if there's fan pressure to sack Ole. The Glazers care more than anything right now about winning back the fans. What people don't realize about the Glazers is the Super League lost so many fans. The reason the Glazers signed Ronaldo was only to win the fans. The Glazers were not going to sign Ronaldo until they heard he could go to Manchester City and they're like, fuck, we can't lose the fans. If we get bad results in the next couple of weeks and the fans turn on Ole, the Glazers will sack Ole because they actually care about what the fans think right now. Because what we think affects the Glazers' pockets. If things aren't going well for Manchester United, it affects the Glazers' pockets. And what do you know? The Glazers saw what happened with the Glazers out protest. They lost so much money in sponsorships and in shirt sales. The Glazers lost so much money with the Glazers out protest. So if the fans all turn on Ole, despite people saying he's their top 4 puppet, he could get scraped 4th and get no trophies, they won't sack him. They would with the fan pressure. That's why they signed Ronaldo. To an extent, they need to make sure they can keep enough fans happy. They don't want to make us all happy. They're not going to go sign the CDM we want and be Chelsea, Man City, or Newcastle, but they want to keep us happy. And look, I want you to put a prediction. Do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager by the end of the season? Let me know in the live chat. Do you predict that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be Manchester United manager come end of the season? Do you think he's going to be sacked like me? I believe he'll be sacked between the 23rd and the 30th of November unless he produces a miracle. But I'm really, really intrigued to know what your guys' thoughts is on the situation. By the way, guys, please do slap a like on this video. If you hate the international break and you can't wait for Premier League football to return, smash a like on the video. And please do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you are new to the channel. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel, by the way, guys. There's going to be a live news show on Wednesday. There's going to be a match preview to Manchester United versus Leicester on Friday and a watch along on Saturday and a match reaction on Saturday. So for watch alongs, match reactions, and match previews to all the Manchester United games, do subscribe for that content. I do live news updates every evening, keeping you up to date on all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. With the January transfer road opening, I will be doing a few more transfer shows come December, come January. I'm not doing that many transfer shows at the moment because I think it's pointless, but December, January, I'll definitely be keeping you updated on the transfer front, because on transfer fronts, there's Tchoumeni, there's Kessie, there's a few players we're linked to in January, because we're bound to sell a few players in January. Actually, guys, believe it or not, Donny is up for sale in January. Donny looks like he's set to leave in January. Lingard could be going in January, and Martial could be going in January. So Manchester United looks set to have a good January spend as well, by the way, guys. Just wanted to throw that out. But yeah, smash a like on the video and all of that. Interested to see what you guys think. If you could bring the question for this video, by the way, I don't know if you can see it in the live chat, is who would you replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with? Because I think he's getting sacked by the end of the season. I think he's going to be sacked next month. I personally believe Ole will be sacked next month unless a miracle happens. I just can't see him getting results. I cannot see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer absolutely getting results with this fixture list. I can't see it happening. So I think he's getting the sack that week. But let me know what you think. Alias says we have sacked too many managers. Still, Manchester United's nowhere close to the league. The one thing is, the reason I was Ole in for so long, I only became Ole out after the Everton game. The reason I've been Ole in for so long is because I don't want to be one of those clubs that sacks the manager. Like, look at Watford. They sack a manager every 8 months. They sacked Nigel Pearson. They got relegated for it. I don't want to be a club that sacks their manager. But when you have the squad that Manchester United have, and when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been here 3 years nearly now, that's not sacking a manager for the sake of it. If you're giving your manager 3 years and he's got a squad with Ronaldo, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, Varane, Maguire, De Gea, and he's not succeeding, Paul Pogba, Bruno, FERNADES, you have more than the right to sack your manager. I think if we'd have sacked Ole 2 years ago, it would have been a bit like, okay, like we really did not give him time. But yeah, I 100% agree. It's very much like I think now I think I'm in a position to sack Ole, but I'm always about giving managers a time, giving them a transfer window, especially with the Glazers. I would say give manager 2 transfer windows under the Glazers because they're never going to get who they want originally. Would you like Benzema to join Manchester United? I like Benzema. I rate him. He's a fantastic player, but we've got Ronaldo, we've got Cavani for that position. It would be absolutely pointless when we need Tchoumeni. If I could sign any player in the world right now, I would sign Tchoumeni. Watching how he complements Paul Pogba. Tchoumeni's 21 years of age. He's a French CDM. Tchoumeni, I guarantee you guys, is probably half the price of Declan Rice. And for me, he looks good. Like one thing we know about Tchoumeni is he can play with Paul Pogba, and he's probably half the price of Declan Rice. And I sit here and I go, how has Man United not gone for Tchoumeni? Like, how are we not looking at Tchoumeni? How are we not like going for this? This guy is there and he plays with Paul Pogba and he plays brilliantly. You sign Tchoumeni, Paul Pogba will want to stay. I think if we signed Tchoumeni and we said to Paul, we're signing this player because we want him to play with you next season, and we know Pogba likes playing with Tchoumeni, we know Pogba praise him. Paul Pogba, for me, would absolutely play. I would absolutely stay and all of that. I hate international break. Yeah, smash a like on the video if you hate the international break. We're in it, like, honestly, guys, 5 days to Manchester United versus Leicester. How much percent to sack Ole completely? Look, if Ole wins all his games, then he's going to be Manchester United manager. So if Ole wins the league, if Ole wins the Champions League, of course he'll be Manchester United manager. But with the fixture list Ole has, with how bad we've been so far this season, with the injuries that we have, I think unless Ole Gunnar Solskjaer changes it up, that actually goes that, you know what, I'm going to give Donny and MATIC a go and not MCFRED, or really changes it up, he's going to get sacked. I look at the fixtures, I look at the injuries, I look at the way we're playing. I would put money on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being sacked by Christmas myself. I can't see it. As I told you guys, I think he'll be sacked the last week of November. I can see him getting sacked around the Arsenal game, around the Chelsea game, around the Villarreal game. He'll get sacked unless things change. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's a stubborn manager, and it doesn't look like things are going to change. I still think, I know Fred's not available for Leicester, but I still think it's going to be Fred, guys. Scott and Fred. Alice, I love your content all the way from Nigeria. Big up for that. Guys, whereabouts in the world are you watching? I'm always interested to know where are people watching from. Let me know down below and all of that. But as Andrew says, losing our top 2 centre-backs at the worst time when the play was already regressing. Exactly. Andrew's comment hit the nail on the head. This is the worst time to lose our top 2 centre-backs, because centre-backs shape a team. Centre-backs absolutely shape a team, because your centre-backs are the ones that are going to move the ball out. They've got to protect, we've lost our 2 main centre-backs when we're not playing good at the moment, and we've got these difficult fixture lists up. And it's going to take one hell of a manager to, lose their top 2 centre-backs, play good football, even though they've been playing bad football all season. It's like, what? It's got to take one hell of a manager after losing 2 centre-backs, after playing badly, after starting the season poorly, and having the fixtures coming up that we have coming up to turn this around. And as I said, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is capable of it. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is capable of it. I hope Ole gets sacked soon. Love your show. Thank you, John. Look, I think as I said, unless Ole wins all his games, I think he could be sacked. I just don't think. I just think we're going to be, and I hate to be negative. I absolutely hate to be negative, but I see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer dropping a lot of points in the next month or 2. I really, really do. And if he does, he'll be sacked. And I think he will get sacked. I mean, if he wins all his games, he won't be sacked. But for me, all I can see is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer dropping points. 8 days to the Champions League as well. And Dave FC says we won't get Tchoumeni when Ole still has Fred and McTominay. I bet you Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have Kante. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have Kimmich. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have all the best midfielders in the world, and he still plays Scott and Fred because they play for the badge. They've got passion. I'm just going to take a quick swig of water, but any questions you have for me, pop them in the live chat. Ooh. And guys, please do smash a like on the video as well. Let's see if we can get 200 likes by the end of the live stream. And if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do go ahead and subscribe down below to the channel for daily Manchester United news updates, daily Manchester United content. I go live pretty much every evening. At the moment, I'm live every other evening because of the sodding international break. But if you want pretty much daily Manchester United news, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be watch-alongs to every Manchester United game once the international break's over. There's going to be live match reactions about an hour after the full time after every Manchester United game. There's going to be match previews as well as transfer news updates. If like Ole in, Ole out updates, debates. There's so much content coming up on the channel in the next month. So just by the way, if you're not subscribed to Alice Talks Football, please do go ahead and subscribe and all of that. Lost to Watford could do it. You know what? I could see. I'm going to say this now. I could 100% see Manchester United beating Liverpool, beating Tottenham, beating Manchester City, and losing to Watford. I could 100% see it. We've got people watching from the Cayman Islands, Sweden, the UK. We've got people watching from all over the world. Someone from Devon. And as Diego says, set notifications on. But what I do want to talk about, actually, is Rafael Varane will be unlikely to play against Leicester. Varane and Maguire basically both confirmed out for the Leicester game. Fred and Cavani are also out for Manchester United versus Leicester this Saturday, I believe. So what I want to talk about and what I actually want to get up on my screen here is how can Manchester United line up versus Leicester? Now, I will touch up on this a little bit more in my match preview for Manchester United-Leicester Friday night. But we've got no Varane and we've got no Maguire. So it's going to have to surely be Bayern Lindelof, unless we're going to play Phil Jones. Now, I don't think we're going to be playing Phil Jones. It has to be Bayern Lindelof. Tuanzebe's out on loan. So our only options in defence are Bayern Lindelof. Because unless he plays McTominay centre-back. But I think the thing is, because if Fred's not playing in the midfield, because Fred, by the way, won't be playing against Leicester because he's stuck on international duty, I don't think Ollie would have no Fred or no McTominay in the midfield. So I think it's bound to be these guys. We still don't know what the Luke Shaw situation is as well. It could be Telles as well. You know, Man United are in a bit of a situation here, but this is looking like to be our back four versus Leicester because Maguire and Varane are out. Unless Ole Gunnar Solskjaer makes them play for an injury, and I would rather we miss both Varane and Maguire for 2 or 3 games than we play them for an injury because that's just not going to get the best out of them. We saw with Rashford, we saw with Maguire last year, playing for an injury only makes it worse. So hopefully Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't go and play for an injury, but I could really see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doing this because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's scared. Because he's scared, because he's missing Varane, because he's missing Maguire, I think we're going to see Matic and McTominay. I think we're going to see Matic and McTominay versus bloody Leicester and Pogba on the left. But I don't want to see that. I want to see, because I want Rashford will be on the bench versus Leicester, by the way, guys. Rashford is back and fit for Leicester, but I doubt he will start. I really doubt Marcus Rashford will start. This is what I want to see, because we know that Fred, Cavani, Varane and Maguire unavailable for Leicester. We know that Fred Cavani and Varane and Maguire unavailable for Leicester. This is what I want to see, but I think it will be Pogba on the left and McTominay in the middle because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's a coward. But I think that's the lineup it's going to look like we're going to have for Leicester. Now, this lineup is capable of beating Leicester. I mean, when you actually think about it, Leicester have started the season really, really poorly. It's been a really, really bad start to the season from Leicester. Like I don't think they, they're not getting the attention to it because it's Leicester. They love Leicester, but for Leicester standards, this isn't a good start of the season for Leicester. So, this Leicester team lacks confidence. You can say it's Leicester. Leicester are a good team. They haven't started the season well. This team should be beating Leicester. Despite no Varane, despite no Maguire, despite no Cavani, despite no Fred. I think that's an advantage for us, no Fred, though. This team should beat Leicester. But do you believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to beat Leicester with this team? I don't know, because, the fact that we scraped past Villarreal, we shouldn't have beaten Villarreal what we did. We were lucky to beat West Ham. We were completely lucky to beat Wolves. Our only convincing wins have been Newcastle and Leeds. Our only convincing wins have been Newcastle and Leeds so far this season, guys. And I go into Leicester game saying they haven't started the season well, but I'm going no Varane, no Maguire, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager. I'm scared for the Leicester game. I'm not confident for it. And I hate saying that because at the start of the season, I was like, you know what? We're going to achieve something this season. I can feel it. We're going to achieve something incredible this season. No, we're fucking not. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's still manager. Do I think he'll be manager for much longer? No, but that's what I mean. Red Devil says Harry Maguire started light training at Carrington during the international break, but has not been included in full contact sessions. That is correct. Varane is still to be assessed, as Red Devil says. Rafa Varane will be assessed by Manchester United's medical staff on Tuesday. United are hopeful his groin issues are not too serious, but he remains a doubt for the Leicester game. Yeah, that is the situation with Rafael Varane. By the way, guys, if you have any questions for me, please do put them down below in the live chat. I'll try and answer as many questions as possible in the live chat. So feel free to put any questions, queries, anything you have for me down below in the live chat. And of course, as always, do subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new to the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Alice Talks Football. I'll be live for watch-alongs to every Manchester United game, match reactions to every Manchester United game, and match previews. So please do go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you just joined the live stream, this is my predicted lineup for Manchester United versus Leicester. Well, technically, my predicted lineup is Pogba on the left, McTominay in the middle, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a coward, because we're missing key players. We've got someone watching all the way from Botswana. That's really, really interesting. And Niall Kane said he would start McTominay because he played well for Scotland versus Israel. I mean, look, yeah, he could start McTominay. I think, you know, he's a safety option. If you're missing Varane, if you're missing Maguire, we play McTominay for protection. However, you know, we haven't kept a clean sheet in our last 9 home games. Defensively, McTominay's weaker than Donny van de Beek defensively. I mean, I would like to see Matic and Donny. If you want my honest opinion, I would love to see Matic and Donny in the pivot, but I know that's never going to happen. You know, we're going to see James Garner getting started before we'll see Donny van de Beek getting started in the Premier League. You know, I would love to see Donny play for Manchester United, but for me, I think Ollie will play Matic and McTominay. I can just see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer playing Matic and McTominay, and I think, you know, that will be negative, that will be boring, and he'll probably get sacked for it. I just think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get sacked because he's not going to change up from McFred. He's missing Varane, he's missing Garaya. Bukalet says we have defensive problems now to add insult to injury. Exactly, you know, I haven't kept a clean sheet in one of our last 9 home games. Our 2 best centre-backs are out. It's an absolute mad one. I did see McTominay's goal, but I didn't see the John McGinn goal and all of that. And Andrew says the baffling part is we've massively strengthened the squad and the play is even worse. Very damning. Like, yeah, that's what I don't get. You know, I get there's this whole talk of, oh, we need to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer time for his new signings to gel together. It's like he signed 3 new key signings. He didn't sign like 7 players. He signed 3 new key signings. One's a centre-back that looks brilliant already. One's the best striker in the world that can play with anyone, and one's a young Jadon Sancho that's barely even played. The people saying give Ollie time, he needs to gel his new signings into the squad. Well, Varane and CR7 are so adapted, so influenced that they don't need time to gel. The only one Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signs that needs time to gel is Jadon Sancho, but he's not even getting that many starts because we've got an abundance of wingers anyway. And it's like, so people can say, oh, it's the new signings that need time to gel. It's nothing to do with the new signings that we dropped off. We played better football last season and we still played shit football last season. It is generally because I think this manager is losing the dressing room. I think this manager is losing the dressing room. The fact that he will sub off Ronaldo, he will sub off Pogba, but not sub off McTominay and Fred, it baffles me. Pogba and Ronaldo are the 2 biggest influences in the Manchester United dressing room, and they're the ones being subbed off. They're the ones getting pissed off at Ollie. And if Ronaldo or Pogba turns on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the whole fucking squad does, and Ollie loses the dressing room. And the only thing that saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job last season when it got shit was that the players played for him. Whenever we looked like Ollie's job was going to get sacked, the players played well and they played for him. Now, I don't believe that a lot of these players will play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think we've got too many big names in the dressing room, but I don't think a lot of these players really do play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think he's starting to lose the dressing room. And if Ollie loses the dressing room, he's 100% getting sacked. He's 100% getting sacked, despite the names in the club. He'll 100% get sacked. With the injury crisis, the way we're playing, with the fixtures coming up, it looks like he's 100% going to get sacked anyway. But I just think, you know what? The way I think we're playing worse for this season. Scott Kelter, thank you very much for the super chat. Do you think Donny could stay if Ollie gone in December? If Ollie goes, I think there's a high chance that Donny van de Beek could stay and keep his job at Manchester United. Absolutely, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes. But I think the situation is, I can't see, you know, I can see Donny leaving. But I think if Ollie goes, I think Donny would stay, especially if you've got Ten Hag now. Ten Hag is one of the managers linked to Manchester United as a possible Ole Gunnar Solskjaer replacement if he does get sacked. So I think if you've got the likes of Erik Ten Hag, then you could definitely see Donny van de Beek staying, and I think that Donny could outlast Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. The way it looks, I think Donny could outlast Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United, and I hope he does, because I know that Donny van de Beek is a top player, guys. Like, I know that Donny van de Beek is a top player. Barcelona and Real Madrid wanted Donny van de Beek. He was in the top 20 Ballon d'Or nominees at age 20. He was playing in a Champions League semi-final at age 21. But yet he comes to Manchester United and he's told by the manager he's not good enough to play, or a Scott and Fred that would get us in a relegation scrap if it wasn't for the individual brilliance. It's an absolute joke, the treatment of Donny van de Beek. It's an absolute joke. And I really hope that Donny outlasts Ollie, because I see Ollie's gone by Christmas. I can't see Ollie making it past Christmas. And if Ollie goes, I think that whatever manager we come in, unless we get Southgate, which we won't because he's got a World Cup coming up, 99% of managers will be playing the likes of Donny van de Beek over Fred. Like, it's common freaking knowledge that Donny is better. And they'll sack the super coaches at Manchester United. And I think, as I said, I believe Ollie's going to get sacked last week of November. I look at the fixtures, I look at the injuries, I look at the way we're playing. Unless Ollie produces a miracle and gets win after win after win, he's sacked before Christmas. And if he's sacked, I don't think Donny will go in January. I really don't. Alice, on the thumbnails, Ollie actually getting sacked next month as Ten Hag incoming. I mean, if Ollie gets sacked, Ten Hag is the favourite, but Ollie won't get sacked next month unless he actually picks up results. That's what I mean. It's like, no, Ollie won't get sacked if he picks up results, but it's like, what I'm saying is with the fixture list coming up, with the injuries that we have, with the way we're playing, Ollie's bound to get sacked in the next month unless he produces a miracle and we start winning and playing well, which I just can't see happening with the injuries and the fixtures we have coming up. But you never know with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We started last season awful, and then all of a sudden, bish, bash, bosh, we won so many games in a row. But Erik ten Hag is the rumoured favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. But that does sound too good to be true. Look, I could see fucking Gareth Southgate coming in. You know what the Glazers are like. I think Erik ten Hag is too good to be true. Erik ten Hag to Tchoumeni, someone said that's the dream. That's way too good to be true, but I'd love that to happen. But Ollie won't be sacked if he wins all his games coming up. Like, Ollie has to go and lose a load of games to get the sack. He's likely to get the sack with the way he's playing and the fixtures and the injuries, but if he wins all his games, he's not getting sacked next month. That's what I mean. Just, that Donny must play, it's sad. I agree. United coaches complicate things. I've said this before. I think it's an absolute disgrace that we're offering some of these coaches a new contract. The coaching at Manchester United is atrocious. The coaching at Manchester United is absolutely atrocious. I'm sorry. How can those coaches sit there with the squad we have and watch that shit week in, week out? We've watched this shit for a year and our squad's got better and it's still shit. And the coaches won't change anything. They sit there and they think it's all right. I'm sorry, what kind of coaches are you? Obviously I can't talk, I'm not qualified like they are, but I can see this ain't good enough. I can see that we're still playing the same midfield pivot of MCFRED and it don't working. How blind must the coaches be to see that that's not working? It absolutely infuriates me that the coaches will sit here for Manchester United going, cool, MCFRED every week, cool, MCFRED every week, can't drop MCFRED, they're the way. MCFRED would put us in a relegation battle if it wasn't for the defence and the attack we had. MCFRED would get a lot of teams freaking relegated. Get over the MCFRED obsession. The coaching at Manchester United is not good enough. And if we get a new manager in, those coaches will go. Southgate is another Ollie. I agree. So he has to win every game to not get sacked. You realise teams lose matches. Oh, no, he doesn't have to win every game. He has to get results. As for Richie Romano said 2 weeks ago, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's situation right now at Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job right now is currently safe. It's currently safe. But if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not start getting results, he will lose his job. So with the fixture list coming up, with the injuries, with the way we're playing, we've got to rely on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to turn it around and get results against the tough fixtures we have with players missing. And that's that, because if we lose 3 of our next 4 games, he's definitely sacked. Like, definitely. That's what I mean. Andrew says none of our coaches are good enough. Phelan is past it. Carrick and McKenna have never showed anything, and Ollie seems content with them. Shaking my head. I agree. And Alice, would you take Erik ten Hag from Ajax at Manchester United if he gets sacked? I believe he'll grind it. I would take Ten Hag in a heartbeat, but I would take Ten Hag in a heartbeat. And Douglas Bay says, why is everyone overlooking Luis Enrique? This man got Spain's squad with an average age of less than 22 balling at the World Champions. I do agree. I think because he's an international manager, he gets overlooked. I think because, he didn't take any of the Real Madrid players, so he's going to have player agendas. But I definitely think he'll be an improvement on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think most coaches would be. I think Graham Potter would be. For me, though, I like Graham Potter, but I want a manager that's won a trophy because I'm worried that if we got Graham Potter, he'd be like a Pochettino, he'd be like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. A good manager to get you top 4, a good manager to revamp a squad and make the squad look good, but he's not a manager that's proven to win trophies. And I think right now, with the squad we have, we're aiming to win trophies. But, we're no longer a squad hoping to get top 4. We're past that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took us from a squad hoping to get top 4 and building to being a top 4 regular again, to now wanting to win the title, now wanting to win major trophies. So I think if we do replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we have to get a manager that's won trophies. And Erik ten Hag has won trophies at Ajax. Yes, he manages Ajax in the Eredivisie, but he's done well. We need to get a manager that's won something. And I like Graham Potter. I like a lot of the managers that we are linked to, but I want a winner. I don't want another manager that's good, but I want a manager that wins so we can actually win the trophies because, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did a good job in getting this Manchester United squad that was awful under Mourinho to 3rd and 2nd place finishes, but he's not doing a good job of winning the trophy. Hi, Alice. Do you think Donny is going to play 90 minutes against Leicester City? I wouldn't put money on it. I would put money on him not playing, actually. No, I don't think he will, but you never know. We could be shocked. And Ollie has been chopping black since he started and nothing has happened, says Michael. And as United ever put McTominay at the back before, it could work. It did for Scotland, then he might play better back in United. There's potential for McTominay to play centre-back. With the injury to Maguire and Varane, and if these injuries to Maguire and Varane become more long-term injuries, because Axel Tuanzebe's gone on loan, our only centre-back options are Bayern, Lindelof and Phil Jones, if that still counts. So I could see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer potentially playing McTominay or Matic as centre-back because we've got so many fixtures ahead and we've got to rest one of them. So I could see Matic or McTominay, one of them possibly playing a centre-back. I could even... Would you see Wan-Bissaka sent about? No. But yeah, I think there's definitely potential for McTominay to play centre back for Manchester United, especially with the injuries that we have coming up and all that. Any questions for me, guys? Please do pop them down below in the live chat. Please do smash that like button if you haven't already. We're going for 200 likes by the end of the live stream. So my question to you is, if you hate the international break, hit that like button. Hope 200 of you guys watching hit that like button, because I think the international break is pointless. And I've not met anyone that sat there and gone, you know what, I like the international break. And we only need 60 more likes for 200 likes. So smash a like. And by the way, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you are new to the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news updates, please do subscribe down below. Obviously, when the transfer window opens, there'll be transfer window live streams, but I do match reactions, match previews, and watch-alongs to every Manchester United game, so do subscribe for that. We're on the road for 20k subscribers. I keep saying subscribe a lot in this live stream, but we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, guys. The goal is hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of 2021, so we've only got to hit 859 more subscribers. I need 859 more subscribers by the end of the year, which I think we'll achieve. So we're on track for 20,000 by 2020. As Diego says, over 230 watching. So, yeah. If Newcastle stacks Steve Bruce this week, who can you see taking the job with a 200 million Jan budget, says Niall Kane. Ooh, interesting question. There's rumours of Lampard to Newcastle. There's genuine rumours of Frank Lampard to Newcastle, but I feel like Newcastle should aim a little bit better. Like, Frank Lampard, I think, is a good manager, but I think, you know, if you want to build something, and I guess Frank Lampard did a good job of taking a Chelsea squad that lost their best player, Eden Hazard, and taking a Chelsea squad that wasn't that great and bringing through all these young players like Mason Mount, Tammy Abrahams, Reece James. I guess Lampard did a good job in that sense, and I guess if Newcastle just want to go the Manchester City way, where they build up a squad and make them a top 4 squad before they go for the Galacticos, which is probably the best way to go, maybe Frank Lampard's a good option for Newcastle, because he did a good job of taking Chelsea from point C to point B, bringing up Championship players, getting the best out of them. But I think that Newcastle probably would go for a Frank Lampard. But I think they should be looking at a Zidane and a Conte if they really want to be big. But I guess Frank Lampard could take them from point C to point B, but I couldn't see them winning the Champions League or Premier over Frank Lampard. I think he would just be a temporary 2-3 year manager to build them up. I will talk about Newcastle, actually, because they're linked to buying Martial and a couple of players. So I'm going to discuss that in just a second. Let me take a quick drink of water. But yeah, I do want to get into that, actually. Very good point there. Lampard's sacking was harsh. Yeah, you can say it's harsh at the time, but at the end of the day, Tuchel won them a Champions League, so they don't care anymore. But what I was going to say is, someone said, what about Rashford on the screen? I would start Rashford on the bench and sub him on, because he hasn't played in a while. I think he needs to be a sub. But Newcastle have been linked to like 4 Manchester United players. I swear to God. I mean, Man United players are linked with everyone, but Newcastle have been linked mostly to Martial. And we know that Martial, Donny, and Lingard are all potential outs for January, and they've all been linked to Newcastle, of course. Obviously, it's lazy journalism. They're going to link anyone to Newcastle because they've got all the money and all of that. Could Martial leave in January? Yes. Could he go to Newcastle? Potentially. Would he want to go to Newcastle? I don't know. You know, Newcastle for me, look, it's got all the money, but it doesn't really have the attraction. I don't think many players have sat there and got, my dream is to live in Newcastle. Yeah. But then I guess they say that about Manchester sometimes. But then, I don't know. But no, there's players linked to Newcastle, especially Martial. But again, I think with transfers, with January transfers, you've got to wait till December to know what's really going on. I've said this now. I said I'm not doing many transfer shows at the moment. I'm just doing more Ollie ins, Ollie outs, debate shows, previews, match reactions, because there's no point in talking about transfer news right now, I feel like, unless something actually happens. And, you know, like Chelsea will buy a player now and they'll join in January because Chelsea are quite productive. But with Man United, nothing happens till like a week before the transfer window. So I think December we'll be talking a lot about transfers. Obviously January all the time because that's when it's open. But I think we've got another month and a half, 6 weeks till we really know what's going to happen with transfers. But Martial, Donny, and Lingard all could potentially leave. Paul Pogba could sign a free contract with someone in January. We could sign Kessie in January. We could sign Tchoumeni in January, but I think we were going to sign Tchoumeni if he would be a summer signing because he's a 21-year-old French international baller, really, really wanted. But yeah, we'll have to see. Gerrard makes sense for Newcastle, as painful as it is to admit. He's showing a lot of potential with Rangers. I agree with Andrew there. And Bruce met the owners today. You could throw in Mancini, Conte, Gerrard, Lampard, or Eddie Howe. And Alfred says, Ollie got such a big ego, 100 with his current tactics, he's sucked for sure. Yeah, I think the fact that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still has the stubbornness to want to play and start MCFRED week in, week out after seeing shit performance after shit performance after shit performance from McTominay and Fred is it's very, very frustrating from a Manchester United perspective. It's like, I can watch McTominay and Fred, and I just know that they're not the way. It infuriates me that week in, week out, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinks that McTominay and Fred is our best midfield duo, and I think that is stubbornness and stupidness from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Absolutely. Van der Beek redempt at United now. I would love to. The thing is, the one thing that annoys me is, one thing that really pissed me off that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said was he was like just like Jesse Lingard, Donny could get that rejuvenation, like rejuvenate his career. And I'm like, the difference between Jesse Lingard and Donny van der Beek was you gave Jesse Lingard start after start after start after chance after chance after chance, and Jesse Lingard was shit. Donny gets a chance, actually plays well in his chance, and doesn't get another chance. Like Jesse Lingard got chance after chance and plays shit. Donny gets a chance, plays well. The players that play in his position play shit. He doesn't play Donny. It really infuriated me when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was like, Donny could get this sort of Lingard rejuvenation and go on loan and rejuvenate his career. It's like, and get back on form. It's like, he doesn't need to rejuvenate his career. He needs a fucking chance. Like, Lingard got a chance. It looked like he was done. Donny isn't had. You can say Donny's done, but you can never say that Donny had the chances Lingard had. Lingard had chances, played bad, and still got a chance after. Pereira had chances, played bad, still got a chance after. Donny's played well in 90% of his chances. The players that play in the position, McTominay and Fred, have played poor. It absolutely infuriates me. Ten Hag is a choice manager. I think a lot of people would take Ten Hag. I should really do polls on my video where I ask people, what manager do you want? I should really start to incorporate polls and all of that. And Ole out. Bravo, Ronaldo, something, I'm assuming you mean Zidane, Conte, Tellez, playmaker. You like Bruno Fernandes? Of course I love Bruno Fernandes. I absolutely love Bruno Fernandes. I think, we should be building a team around the likes of Bruno and Pogba, not McTominay and Fred. If Ole's sacked, we should consider the best manager like Ten Hag, Zidane. I agree. Ole won't drop Fred because he knows if he does, then he was wrong to stick him in for so long. That sort of thing shows that he's out of his depth. You know what? I don't know if this. I'm not going to go around saying this is true, but a lot of people are like, Ole just doesn't want to drop Fred now because if we start playing well and Fred's not playing, he has to admit he was wrong about Fred. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the kind of manager to admit he was wrong. He's very, very stubborn. I don't think that's the reason Ole doesn't play Fred. I think Ole generally believes that Fred, because he runs around a lot, is our best player, which is sad to admit, but that's what I believe Ole believes. And Mod said, if Ole's sacked, not that we should consider best manager. I read that one out. But Tellez is a top player. I don't know what the situation is with Luke Shaw. But I'm not sure if he's injured or not. How was my day? My day was good. Solskjaer has a personal agenda against Donny van der Beek. I'm pretty sure he does. And Robert says, Ole can't use team players, only individual brilliance players. Yeah, but the thing is, surely Donny van der Beek's more likely to create a moment of individual brilliance than Fred, because Donny's like more attacking minded. I don't get it. It's like Ole just wants two runners in the midfield and Donny and Fred. He picks Donny and Fred in the midfield because they run around the most, and then he wants a team of individual brilliance. And it's like, that's my tactics, guys. That's my tactic. Individual brilliance and two runners in the middle. Just going to take a quick drink of water, then we'll get into the last 10 minutes of the stream with a few talking words. But any questions you have for me, slap them down below. But yeah, any questions, slap them down below. But back onto the talking points of today's videos. First thing I wanted to quickly throw out is, first of all, the main talking point of today's video was obviously, will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer survive? Will Ole survive? I see Ole losing his job in the next month. I just think with the key injuries, with the fixtures we have coming up, with the way we're playing, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to have to produce miracles to turn this around. Obviously, right now, if I was to rate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of 10 for the season, I'd give him a 5 out of 10 because we're still 2 points off top of the league. It's not tragic, but underperforming. It doesn't look good. Key injuries. Now we've got the difficult games. We've had the easy games. Now we've got difficult games. I think he's sacked by Christmas. I think Ole will be sacked next month. End of November, I think he'll be sacked next month. But obviously, one of the main talking points is, do you guys think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to survive this awful fixture list ahead? I see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked next month, unless he produces the miracle, stops his McFred obsession, actually changes it up. Do I believe Ole will do that? No. Do you guys think Ole's going to be here by the end of the season? Do you think he's going to get sacked? And all of that. Obviously, 5 days to the international break is over. Varane and Maguire both injured. Fred and Cavani out for Leicester, as you could see on my screen. I also wanted to talk about Sancho, how good he was for England, how Sancho grows into the season. And for me, I said this at the start of the video. I said for me, it's so important that we give Sancho a run of starts, because Sancho is a player that's a good player. He's got potential to be one of the best players in the world. You look at Sancho's stats, you look what he's achieved at 21 years of age. Sancho has potential to become one of the best players in the world. He has potential to be in that Mbappe Haaland bracket, and we just need to give him a run of games to get the best out of Sancho. And for me, it's really important that we start Sancho versus Leicester. We don't put Sancho on the fucking bench so we can play McFred or Matic and Fred or Matic and McTominay. Sancho on the left, pull Pogba back in the middle, Rashie on the bench. Obviously, if Sancho ain't doing great on the left, we can just sub on Rashford, because you don't want to start Rashford. For me, I want to throw it out. It's so important that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gives Sancho a run of starts, because every game Sancho's playing, he's getting better and better. 2 assists for England, comes on versus Everton, skilling his play. He looks more confident. He looks better for me. So that's another thing. Paul Pogba, Tchoumeni, obviously the French duo in the Nations League. If you watch the Nations League, they were bossing it in the midfield. Paul Pogba's so good for France. Where's he play for France? In the middle. Stop Pogba on the left. We've got an abundance of wingers. I know Pogba's good on the left, but I know it can work. But stop playing Pogba on the left, because we've got an abundance of wingers. We don't, we haven't got many great midfielders. We've got an abundance of great wingers. So it's just a waste putting on the left, because it takes out the slot for Sancho. It takes out the chance for Rashford. It takes out a chance for Martial. It takes out a chance for Greenwood. Put Pogba in the middle. Get rid of the McTominay obsession and sign Tchoumeni in January. Sign Tchoumeni in the summer. Pogba wants to play with Tchoumeni. He talks about how much he likes playing with Tchoumeni. What a way to keep Pogba if you sign Tchoumeni and you say to Pogba, we sign him because we want you to play in the middle in the summer. Please do that. Martial off to Newcastle. We'll talk about that more nearer the time, because it's just a rumour for now. Donny, Martial, Lingard all rumoured with moves in January. I'm sure that Donny will go. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's sacked next month, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be at Christmas time. There's a high chance that Donny stays, but he's linked to a move in January. Man United have been linked to Dembele again this summer as well. But I thought I'd just throw out a little bit of news. We've got some Ole outers in the chat. Are you Ole in or Ole out? I'm assuming most of you are Ole out. And yes, Ole means set of poor coaches. If Ole goes, his coaching staff will go. I can't see any manager that comes in to replace Ole wanting to actively keep Phelan, McKenna and Carrick. Because, look, you can say what you want, but I look at those coaches and I go, well, the coaching is just as shit as the manager. I don't trust those coaches at Manchester United. I think anyone that comes to Manchester United probably wouldn't keep them coaches either, if you want an honest opinion. He will always survive, though, people saying, Ole, I would love Ole to be sacked and get a winner manager. I would love a manager that's a born winner as well. I agree. Now, Kane says, if it was up to me, I'd give Ole until Christmas to turn it around and fail to meet those goals. I would sack him and bring in Ten Hag. I mean, I would give Ole a month. And if we ain't getting results in a month, I'd sack Ole right now. I'd just do a fucking Abramovich and sack Ole right now. But for me, I think what they're just going to see, they're going to see what he does with these tough fixtures, what he does with these injuries, and all of that. And all I know is if your home form doesn't improve, the Old Trafford fans will view their voice very loudly. Exactly, Diego. Exactly. People saying Carrick and Fletcher probably the weakness in coaching. I mean, they're Ole's friends. Ole's just employed his friends. Bailly better than Maguire. You know what? Erik Bailly on his day is our best centre-back. Now, Maguire is our best centre-back because he's more consistent, he's more available. But if Erik Bailly was fit, and if Erik Bailly didn't get injuries, I think he would be our best centre-back, I feel like. I think Bailly's better than Lindelof. Bailly on his day is better than Maguire. I don't want to say Bailly's better than Moran because I feel like it's a bit dilute, but I rate Erik Bailly so highly. So, to an extent, I actually agree with your comment. I actually do agree with your comment to an extent. Newcastle is more ambitious than United. Now let that sink in. Yeah, that's true. I mean, most Aston Villa, Everton, Leicester are more ambitious than United. Shokat says Ole will be sacked by Christmas, which means we will be out of the Champions League, FAC and title race. Ole is obsessed with wingers on the bench. Exactly. But I am going to end the live stream here, guys, because I'm super tired. But I will be live Wednesday night with some more Manchester United news update, and I will be live Friday night for the Manchester United versus Leicester match preview, by the way. So do go ahead and make sure to subscribe to Alice Talks Football to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and updates. Make sure you put that bell notification on, by the way, because I go and do match reactions, match watch-alongs, and match previews to all the Manchester United fixtures. I'm live on the day of, the day after, and the day before every Manchester United game. I'm live with all Manchester United news updates. If there's any relevant news updates, I go live. So to stay up to date with Manchester United topics, watch-alongs, match reactions, match previews, do subscribe down below. I'm sorry if I didn't answer any of your live chats. Sorry I couldn't read out all the live chats. But if you have any questions to me in the live chat that I did not answer, just make sure you subscribe with post notifications on and pop that comment in my next live stream. I'm live Wednesday night. So if I didn't answer one of your comments in today's live stream, pop the subscribe button, pop the notifications bell on, and comment it there. But thank you everyone for watching today's live show. Before you leave, smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 200 likes. Subscribe down below, of course. See you Wednesday. Thanks everyone for tuning into the chat. Some really good chat today. Thank you for watching.